Oh, I'm unmuted now.
Yeah, I unmuted you just to test it out, make sure it works.
Okay. Ta-da.
You're there.
Yeah, I am here. I'm going to put everybody in their little squares. This is like, what was that game on TV? Hollywood Squares, right? I'll take Tony Paradiso for this answer. Oh, shit. How's the coffee, Tony? He's on mute.
You got to get back in time to buy some more.
I was going to say, I got to figure out how much those boxes weigh.
We're just about out. No.
We need a net supplier, not a net user.
Yeah. So we got 4 minutes.
Okay. Well, thanks for the update.
Kind of like you going to lead us out of the tunnel, Mike?
I'm going to lead you out the tunnel, brother. Hopefully I don't trip over one of the cheerleaders.
Shane, you going to run through the banner? Go Tigers.
There you go.
There, yeah.
I got a formal prayer this morning, Shane.
All right, good deal. Thank you.
Hey, you had the bishop or the pope or somebody today.
Yeah, well, it was Cardinal Sokola. He was going to be pope, but they didn't want to call him Pope Sokola.
He sounds pretty important, though. We'd be good.
Yeah, he's Cardinal Sokola. It's a big guy. Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, we will be live on Facebook Live. So
awesome.
It's great.
Do we have like opening music and that kind of thing?
He's probably live now. I see it.
We need a music bed.
See, Johnny Carson had a theme song. We could do something there.
Yeah, I like it, Mike. We ought to come up with something.
Yeah, it's in production, guys. We're working on it.
Come on, Jimmy.
Come on, Jimmy. Give us your 80% work, Jimmy.
Jimmy, did you hide Nikki or did she hide herself?
I think she did it herself. I asked her to do the video right now.
She didn't want us to see those disgusted looks.
There she is.
Nikki, no birds today.
Hey.
Nope, none today.
Hey, I got new wireless earphones. That ought to work. Hopefully that pleases Jimmy.
Sound good.
Just so everybody knows, I ordered them on Amazon, had them delivered, touch free.
There we go. Hey, I can hear you. That's an upgrade.
Yeah. Sometimes that's not a good thing.
Nikki, you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Please join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Commissioner Kirschner, you have a prayer for us today.
Yes, we do have a prayer in a time of pandemic here. Please, let's get ourselves in a prayerful state of mind. Oh God of compassion, your people are anxious in this pandemic. Send your Holy Spirit among us to dispel our fears. We cry out to you in our confusion. Comfort us in our affliction. Grant our leaders wisdom to guide us. Strengthen and sustain those who are ill, and be with those who care for them. Help us travel this road in solidarity with our neighbors, with our eyes fixed on the salvation promised us through the death and resurrection of your Son. who is Lord forever. Amen.
Amen.
Nice
Roll
job.
call.
Commissioner Thomas,
Here.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Here.
Commissioner Kirschner,
Here,
All right. I will accept the motion to approve the digital audio video recording from the previous board session.
so moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Kirschner,
Yes,
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes. And just to be clear, we do have these video links on our website. So anybody who wants to go back and review them can do that. And also today we are broadcasting live on Facebook. So we'll be interested to see how that works out. And so as always, anybody who has anything can text us, call us, hit it up in the chat, or we'll try to open it up at the end. So that is still available to everyone. All right. Administrator report.
The only thing I got today, other than budget, is Wolf Creek. We'll do the advanced payback for Wolf Creek. It looks like we've got 169,000 that will be advanced back to the county for the first quarter, and then what was left over that the engineer had paid 2019. So
It's nice.
was that an anticipated item as part of your budget?
it's a little higher than we thought, but that was people paying, just paying the full amount.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right, good. Commissioner reports.
Tony,
You
go
need
ahead.
Go.
I can. I was going to yield to the senior tenured commissioner, but that's okay. I'll go. Just a few things. One of the tasks we had as commissioners, it was to get a hold of and call and contact all our contract services providers. And they had, I want to single out the Ohio State Extension Office briefly, if I may. Had a nice call with them, several calls. As everyone knows, we cut their budget. They did, as a part of our discussion, I requested some information as to some of the successes that the extension offices have provided. So I'd like to just highlight a couple of those, in not necessarily in any order, but since the new Farm Bill came out last year, we've been working really hard, Ohio State Extension, Seneca County, and 77 producers / farmers in our area received payments back as a result of some complex paperwork and individual meetings of over $6,500 each. And that's a total of over $500,000 back into our community that can be reinvested back into agriculture. They also are part of the Tiffin Seneca Farmers Market. They've been working with a good committee there and to try to get local farming. And so not sure the future of that with the way things are, but they're doing a good job getting ready for it. Didn't realize this, 1,792 individuals attended pesticide training and safety throughout the county and surrounding area. On the 4-H side of things, 955 youth participated in 44 4-H clubs, and like schools and all organizations, summer camp's been canceled. You know, the fair is still a possibility, but they've been very busy. It's kind of neat to see what they've been doing. They've created a YouTube channel. They're making videos, tips for teens. They're staying connected through all their virtual meetings. They're making masks for the community. So just want to let everyone know that our extension office, 4-H, the work they do with agriculture in the area it's quite an operation out there. And like everybody, they've taken a severe cut. Will continue to provide all the services they can. Other than that, we're going to talk a little bit later. David Zach will talk about mask and some other things. We did talk with the health commissioner. One thing I do want to bring up, Mike, you brought up, how are we going to ease back in and get these businesses open? I think there's a task force being put together. One of you can comment on that, but some of the business owners I've talked to, they just need a little help. They need some guidance. They want to know how they can get masks. They want to know what they should do, how they can do it. So I think that's a huge focus starting right now as we ease back into opening businesses up. And I know we've got things going. I'll let you two talk about it, but I wanted to bring that up to all the business owners that are listening, that we hear you and we're going to do everything we can to keep that communication and help on out to you. So thanks.
Mike?
I just wanted to dovetail a bit on what Tony said, and I think David Zach is probably on the line. I'll bring us up to date about the mask. But again, it's another example of community support, people stepping up when they need to step up. I know that Shane will talk about the task force, the reopening task force, and I think that's a good thing that we've got that lined up. And Beth has chosen some great community leaders to be part of that. We look forward to at least a list of those kinds of things that we'll be able to open up and to see how it works. I guess the main thing that I would caution everyone at this point is that we've got to let our egos at the door, because if for whatever reason phase 1 or phase 2 doesn't work and you find a hot spot, that we've got enough common sense to know to go back to the way it was until this thing goes away or subsides. So anyways, thank you, Shane, for sitting on that task force. You'll be an important member of that, and I appreciate your work there.
Thanks.
Ditto.
All right, yeah. So masks are still going to be the normal for a while. So if you have one, wear it in public. And this Paisley mask, as I said before, was made by my niece. Well, my mom, for my birthday, got me a Paisley tie to match my mask, so I can coordinate now. And it's also a Trump signature tie, so I've got that going for me. So I shout out to my mom for hitting me up on my birthday. Our normal programs aren't running the way we want them to. We had planned on doing volunteer appreciation around this time, because it's volunteer appreciation time, and we wanted to have people in, but we're just going to have to wait. I know Mike's done a lot of work with volunteers and shouting them out over the years, and we certainly want to continue to do that. So we have volunteers with new opportunities now, and they're stepping up, as Mike said. Also, we typically do a little appreciation for our administrative staff this time of year. And so Nikki, Kylie, Jimmy, Stacy, we certainly appreciate everything that you do for us. We'll watch. I think Tony's over there washing his hands for you, which I think is what you want. So, lunch to come, maybe. I don't know. So, but we really do appreciate everything.
Lunch. See if we can do a little better than that with all this, Commissioner.
You did talk about rebooting Seneca County, and that task force is in the formation process. We'll start meeting soon. Great people on it. Stay tuned. We're going to give you some more information as we develop. But absolutely, we've talked to a number of businesses. They've got questions. They need resources. We're going to do everything we can to provide those directions. And, it's going to be important to get the economy rolling again. But we're not quite there yet. And, you know, I was thinking about that last night. And, you know, I hear a lot of cries for freedom. You know, we want our freedom. Of course, we all want our freedom. And that brings to mind the rally call from Braveheart, where Braveheart says, you know, freedom is his rally cry. But the unsung theme of that movie is, you know, everybody wants to fight. You know, the Scots all want to fight. But what William Wallace brings to the cause is he brings the thought of, let's use our minds. Let's fight with our minds. Let's be patient. And so, you know, after a couple skirmishes with the garrison, using their minds, they finally meet the English on the plains, big battlefield. The Scots are lined up. They're getting pummeled with arrows, and the English are coming across the plain. And at that moment, what Braveheart says, which I think is important, is he says, hold. And that's where we're at. We're all patriots. We all want to fight, but it's going to take patience. And this is a time when we hold and we don't rush out into the battle. We're patient and we wait for the right moment to open up and go forward. So, you know, Jimmy criticizes me for not using enough pop culture references. So there you go. That's what I got.
I like it.
Okay, Jimmy, now I want to get a picture of Jimi Hendrix singing Freedom at Woodstock.
Hey,
We can muster that up.
hey,
You know,
just
it's-
speaking on knocking on Jimmy, Jimmy's going to be doing a TV show for election night, April 28th, live from the Board of Elections. I think Jim Fruth and a few people are going to be there. They're going to be letting the folks watch the ballot counting and doing periodic updates. And, you know, we're all obviously interested in the election, and, you know, we're hoping Tony gets a few votes and gets his election won. But so I think we're going to broadcast it on Facebook Live and a few other places. So there's information out there, but definitely look for that.
As Jimmy has Heidelberg experience working at the MCC, producing his own show over there. So just want to put a shout out in for Heidelberg.
Proud student, Prince alum.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, we as mature adults, if you will, you know, are able to handle everything. But do you remember the time when you had that baseball game that you're really looking forward to? You got your uniform on, and they call you and say the game's rained out. You know, what a terrible feeling you got because you can't go play because you're all dressed ready to go. Well, I got Facebook with one of the grandkids that got their away uniforms and their home uniforms for a traveling baseball team. You know, we're real proud of the uniform, but you can imagine the disappointment in their voices at this point that they may not even get to wear those the entire year. So, again, we as adults, we can handle it, right? I mean, you know, it's an emotional thing, but you got to feel for the kids who are out there looking forward to summer sports, and we're looking forward to doing a lot of great things at swimming pools and that kind of stuff this summer. You know, pray that they find other things to do and they can find it within themselves to get through this.
Yeah, same goes for the graduates. My heart goes out.
Oh,
to
yeah.
them. And you know, we're going to do some things for them, but nothing's going to replace, you know, a culmination of 12 years of work and getting to walk across that stage. And the parents, Stacy, that aren't going to get to see their kids graduate, that's hard stuff. It's all hard, but we celebrate them. We'll celebrate them.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Old business.
I've got the adjustments ready for the reductions we've made. And Mary Jane reminded me that we had to do one for the sales tax revenue fund. So we're going to do a total reduction out of our sales tax revenue fund for $500,000, $11,000 from other expense, and $489 for the transfers out. The other one I have is our general fund and getting all of the plans put in place, which include the commissioner's directive for the travel and for supplies. Our total reduction is $1,909,728.40. So
Again, Stacy, just one comment about that. Can we get a net number by showing how much was put back into the fund? In other words, if anybody took reduced salaries or if anybody is contributing to the general fund. I know we saved $1.9 million.
right.
But are there any pluses on the other side?
I don't have those.
Okay, I mean, the one thing that we get is BWC that we really didn't expect, right?
Yep, I think that actually came in this week.
Okay, so I mean that what I'm trying to do is get to that $2 million number, if you will, by the reductions and also by the unexpected, if there is such a thing, unexpected income, so that we can show we got to that number based on the Budget Commission's new forecast.
Okay, I can see what I could find.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're not going to see all the effect of these until, probably July. There's a lag on some of this stuff, and we're not going to have a complete feel for our revenue until July. So, we're going to be transparent, but we don't know what we don't know at this point. We've just made strong moves right now to put us in the best position to be successful over the summer.
The
All
only
right.
other language I included in the resolution is just in case some of the departments didn't get their travel purchase orders or whatever reduced or closed, the authorization for the auditor to reduce those purchase orders to make to make these reductions go through to ensure a balanced budget.
Got it. So you need a formal motion on those?
Yes, please.
Can I get a motion to approve the budget adjustments?
So moved.
And I will second.
All right, any discussion? All right, Nikki,
Good
roll
job.
call.
Nice work, Stacy. Nice work.
Yeah, thank you.
Commissioner Kirschner,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes. All right, any other old business? And just on the travel line, I know we've had some contact with people who may need to travel for, required. We can bring those back, and I know that JFS has one today. We're just going to have to look at them on an individual basis. The only way to handle that was to take them to zero and add back. So I'm confident that everybody is only doing the travel that's absolutely necessary, but the fact remains there is some that's necessary. So.
Shane, you talked about the graduates.
Yeah.
We want to mention the Justice Center activity that's going to happen there.
Yeah, I don't have all the details on that, but I think there's something coming there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, new business.
Okay, I have a couple supplemental appropriations. I have one from the Board of Elections. The state has sent us the initial $10,000 check for supplies for the Board of Elections. So that's what they're asking for, is to put that $10,000 supplement into supplies. And I think right now, Jim Ehrman's got well above the additional amount that they were allotted for us. I think it was $26,000, and he's just postage is going to be over that amount. So he's keeping track. My second one, and I think this one wasn't on the agenda. It's a supplemental appropriation for contract service for the recorder's office. When they were closing up 2019 purchase orders, one of the recorder's contracts were closed. The purchase order was closed So the payment processed, which put him in the negative for this year. So, so it was reduced and put in our carryover, but now he needs it back to process that payment. And that's $2,228 into the contract services line. And then the last one is from Job and Family Services, $300 in their travel and expense. And that is actually covered by a grant.
So can I get myself clear on the Board of Elections? There was a pot of money. There was in excess of $2 million for the state. Is that right? To cover additional election costs because of the extended date.
It was about 7 million, and we got 26,000.
26,000. So, Stacy, you said that we spent about 26,000 in postage, right? So, I'm still trying to understand why Seneca County was only allocated 26,000 of that 7 million, based on the fact that there are 88 counties and we're kind of in the middle of that. That number just doesn't compute. Are they going to be able to reapply as part of that pool, or is that money all gone now with us getting 26,000?
I think Board of Elections plans on submitting everything we have.
As part of the COVID, but
right.
When there was a special account just for the extended elections. Is 26,000 the maximum, do we know? That's all we're going to get.
Well, I don't know if we're getting any more. That's just what we were allocated right now.
Yeah, I agree. It's short and it's light in comparison to the rest of the state.
I just wonder if there's an appeal process or if there's a.
Hey, Jimmy, can you unmute Mike Ditto? He might.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, commissioners. Good morning, everyone. To answer that question a little bit, there was the small allocation, the $26,000 that you mentioned. The $7 million that was allocated in the original bill was to cover the postage and printing costs for the postcards to go out to all 8 million voters regarding the election itself. And then what was left was divvied up among the counties. However, it's my understanding that next week on the 27th, the Secretary of State is asking for an additional up to $12 million to be distributed to his office and the local boards of elections once they have a better idea for what the total cost will be for the counties. So there is, I think, more money coming, but the exact amount per county is not yet determined. So we're working with the Secretary of State's office on that for you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts there because they didn't have to pay poll workers, but they did have to add staff to do temp work in the back to get those ballots out. So yeah,
right.
I'll be looking forward to that full accounting.
We'll share that with you as soon as it's available, of course.
I don't support a poll tax.
Agreed.
All right. Any other new business, Stacy?
Nope, that was it.
Okay, can I get a motion?
I will so move that appropriations be approved.
Second.
All right. Any other discussion on that? Nikki, will you do a roll call, please?
Commissioner Kirschner,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes. Any other new business?
Nikki says she's got one for me on the printer.
Okay. Jimmy, when we open it up to public comments, I think David Zach wants to talk to us a little bit about masks.
Okay. I have a resolution authorizing the subrogation of mortgage for Lou Ann Neller of her loan with Seneca County Commissioners for work done through the Community Housing Improvement Program 2004. And I think Charlene's on if you have any questions about that.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
All right, roll call?
Commissioner Kirschner,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
I just have a quick comment, Shane, before we go to public comments for Stacy. Have we heard anything from the public now that we're going to 4 days a week? I know it's early in the process, but has there been any comments from either the electeds or the public regarding services, et cetera?
I know Jimmy got maybe one or two on our Facebook page. I haven't received any yet, but like you said, it's new. It's only been, this will be our second week for not being open on Fridays. Trying to get the word out to everybody. I know, Jimmy, if you want to.
Yeah, a couple of people had mentioned that it might be difficult for them to come in and do business. If it's not on a Friday, they might have to take a vacation day from their own work to come in Monday through Thursday. So I had one person suggest maybe Wednesdays would be better than Fridays. What I told them though, and I think this is good, you can tell me if you want me to tell them something different, but what I said was, let's just call ahead and try to arrange it. I know like our office, we're willing to meet outside of those hours that we're working if that's how we got to accommodate someone, make sure that we're providing the services we need to provide. And I'd be surprised if other offices were different than that. I think, we're going to be willing to be flexible. So I think that was my response to that, but it's really only been a couple of different messages. And, what my response was is just communication is going to be key. And, if we have to, I have to stay in here on an evening on a Wednesday or Thursday to meet someone else's schedule, I think most people around the county are going to be willing to make that work.
Okay, good. Let's keep us informed on this, and I concur. I think the electeds are doing a great job. They're flexible. Citizens can call, make special arrangements, and let's just monitor this and make sure everyone's getting the services they need.
So, Shane, with the CCAO, are you aware of the governor's reopening task force? If there is good representation from less densely populated counties?
Yeah, I know the House committee has been having hearings, and they've got 20 state reps that are having hearings. I think it's daily, and those are broadcast live. And I can tell you that I've been following that pretty closely, and what they're hearing from all sorts of businesses, small businesses, large businesses. And so we're getting a good cross section of, performance arts venues, small businesses, barbershops, racetracks. So
yeah,
they're getting a good cross section there.
I see that. I just didn't know how much representation from commissioners there was on the smaller counties.
Yeah, I'm not aware that there is any.
Maybe Mike Diddle knows. I don't know. Mike?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. As far as the task force is concerned in the House, they've got 24 state reps. I don't think anybody other than the County Commissioners of Association of Ohio, the CCAO, has been testifying and providing input there. But I'll check on that to see if we've got some good representation there and through CCAO's efforts as well.
Well, from what I've been reviewing in other states, they actually have task forces that are divided into sections of states, and on virtually all of those task forces, there is at least one county commissioner, a commissioner from each county on that regional area. So, if you have Miami, Florida, it's certainly a whole lot different discussion than it is the middle of the state, for example. Right. So I just thought that there ought to be some strong voice from some rural communities. What that voice says, I'm not sure, but there should be some strong voice.
Yeah, I want to see at the table.
Yeah. Well, our numbers are different than, other places in the state. And that's partially because our folks have been doing a really good job of sheltering in place. But it's also a function of our low density. So we've got, two things going for us.
Yeah. I agree with that. But that's the kind of thing that needs to be said out loud and repeatedly, Shane,
Yeah.
with the task force. You know, because I'm not sure that everybody isn't getting lumped into the same basket here when it comes to more densely populated areas.
Stace, we can submit that question on our call with CCAO, maybe, just to kind of come at it from a different angle along with what Mike's going to do. We have ongoing calls with them. We can submit questions. That's good point, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Shane on that task force if it's possible.
Yeah, and I will say CCAO has been great getting us resources. So shout out to them. I mean,
no shot at them. I just think that we need full representation.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, public comments. Jimmy, can you unmute David Zach? I think he's got something you'd like to share with us.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning, David.
Perfect. Good morning. Hey, two quick shout outs real quick. I just want to shout out to Charlene and her work on the comp plan, which is going a lot of hard work going on in this time when we're all kind of remotely in the computers, but appreciate her on that. And then on behalf of Renee, myself, and other ED people, we expect to, hopefully the House will pass this afternoon, the $484 billion phase 3.5 stimulus, which would put about $300 billion into the Paycheck Protection Program. So all businesses, we would recommend anybody talk to, Renee. I know Renee's doing a great job in getting info out. We're trying to get info out. Talk to your banks. So we're hoping that's going to get replenished. So that's another. And then last but not least, Audrey would not be happy with me if I didn't announce that we have a rural and ag webinar that's part of our series she's put together and dealing with coronavirus. That's going to take place tomorrow at 10 o'clock. You go to our website at tiffenseneca.org. You can register for that absolutely free. We did one yesterday that Audrey set up with Mircea Handru and another county mental health provider on mental health. These recordings will be up, and I think it was important because I joined that one on mental health, and a lot of people under a lot of stress. It's okay. And Megan was on, and she was like, Megan McBride Klein, she was like, just give people space to process and have grace with people. And so I think that's an important message to get out, but rural and ag tomorrow. That being said, there were a few of us that were pretty inspired by, what was going on with some of the Helping Hands initiative and people making masks. They're doing a fantastic job. We thought there might be a bigger need, so we wanted to add our help to the pile by buying some masks, knowing May 1 we're coming on a thing where the knock on wood, we hope that the economy will open back up. And so we purchased some masks and put out a website, and this was a couple of days ago. So we want to give free masks. The idea is we want to give a free mask to everybody in Seneca County. The more people that have masks, the more people wear them, and the more acceptable it gets, and it keeps everybody safe. We ended up talking to Beth Schweitzer. Beth was like, you need to up, a better quality mask with double layer is a better thing to do. So we went and found a better mask made in the U.S. with the double layer cotton, reusable and washable. And so we're okay if that's what's in the public interest. And so we have a site called SenecaCountyMask.com, which kind of went out thanks to the AT and thanks to others. And we have in a little over 48 hours, 3,800 requests online. You have to be a resident of Seneca County. Businesses, we're working on coming up with something where they can buy them, but this is for your residents. We'll either drop it off to your house or have it shipped to you. We did not expect that big of a response, and I think we had calls into Susie Wilkinson's store to the tune of a couple hundred. So we're at 4,000 requests right now. Fortunately, the community's coming to the cause. You go to SenecaCountyMasks.com. There's a place to donate. So we have a GoFundMe project trying to raise $5,000 from small donations. We've raised about $6,000 from a little larger donations. The commissioners are helping out personally. The mayor is helping out personally. Many other people are helping out personally. So whatever anybody can do, first of all, you don't have to pay for it. If people go to Seneca County Mask, they can put their name on a list. We're going to continue to work to fulfill all these requests, and we just ask that people be patient with us as we get the cash in. We'll make the orders and we'll get them out. But we're going to be setting up some kind of Facebook so people can kind of know what's going on, and so that's what we're trying to do. Just trying to keep Seneca County safe. And again, this is a bunch of people. I'm representing a lot of people that are working on it. Tony was on the call last night, and and as Tony can tell you, there's a lot of different people working on a lot of different aspects of this. It's a truly kind of a group effort. So want to see if there are any questions, or Tony, I don't know if you want to add any comments.
Oh, great job, David. And what an idea. I was a citizen that wanted a mask, didn't really know how to go about getting one. And I think it's just a huge need. Just want to maybe tie together the funding part of it. So any individual in Seneca County that would like a mask can get a mask for free. That said, they do cost money. David's done a great job of just making a few phone calls, trying to get some donations, but the demand is far exceeding the cash that's coming in. So if you would like on the GoFundMe page to make a donation, you have the means to do it, or you would like to do it, we would appreciate that, because that just will allow us to get more masks out quicker to more people. But you certainly don't need to make a donation to get a mask. Part two of that is we are accepting donations if you would like to do that. And the other thing you brought up on the call yesterday, David, I thought was interesting, was how businesses in the community have reached out to you, and they're looking for masks for their employees, et cetera. You may want to comment on that, because I think that's also part of creating a safe work environment for all those that are working and that are going to be coming back to work.
Yeah, we are trying to, as those requests come in, we are going to try to, if those businesses would like to do that, we'll add them to the order as they come in, because we can just order those along. We don't need to raise cash for those, so any business that would like to, if you get the website, there's an email to request it. If you send it to me, I'll be happy to forward it on. But again, there's a place at the site where it addressed. If you are a business looking for masks, there's a contact to put that request in, and we'll connect with you. So thank you, Tony. I appreciate you kind of making all that clear. Appreciate it.
A couple of things too, David. I want to make sure that I'm understanding. The first group of masks were a disposable type masks that were given out, and the second bunch of masks will be the washable, reusable mask. Is that right?
Yeah, so I purchased kind of the first group of masks. We haven't sent any of those out yet, because Beth Schweitzer was saying kind of get better masks. So all the money that's coming in are gonna fund the higher quality masks that we're gonna send out. I don't know yet what we're gonna do with the 120 that we have that are kind of the more disposable, or you use them a few times. Those masks, we're probably going to talk about that on the call today, but we want to make sure that everybody's going to get the quality mask. We have an order for the first 1,500 that went in yesterday. It should be here within 5 or 6 days or so, if not sooner. It's closer than the last one, but as soon as they go in, they're going to go out. So that kind of answers that. We don't know what we're going to do with that kind of first batch of 120 that were kind of that disposable, but everything that's going to go out to people that we're intending right now are going to be the higher quality ones that Beth would like to see out there.
Yeah, my suggestion with the first group might be to distribute them to the police or EMS. So if they arrive at a scene and people aren't wearing masks, they can distribute them to the people there that aren't wearing masks. That's
a great idea. I appreciate that. Yep. Nope. I think that's a good idea.
I think that Vicki, is Vicki still online? Do we have some links? I saw a link this morning in the Seneca News Daily for contributions to the Mask Fund. I'm not sure that it was in the advertiser. I did read it, but I think it'd be a great thing if we could get it in there someplace. I guess Vicki's not on, huh?
I just unmuted her. Vicki, are you there?
I heard you. This is the first I've heard of it, so I will put it in there for sure.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Good work. Thank you, David. Audrey, are you on? Do you have some things to report?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so just wanted to again shout out that rural business webinar or ag related webinar is today at 1 p.m. So anyone interested in kind of the rural businesses, we're going to be hearing from a representative from USDA Rural Development on resources specific to that. So that is today at 1 p.m. Otherwise, I think David covered everything. We just continue, remember, go to our website, send businesses our way, and we have all kinds of resources. So thank you.
Jimmy, is Renee Smith on? Can we pop her in? Hear from her?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Renee.
Hi,
Yeah.
how are you?
Good.
We have a lot of different things going on, but one of the things that I wanted to highlight with you guys this morning is, you know, we've all been COVID-19 for well over a month now, and I just wanted to report to you that as businesses start to reopen, we're still going to be all COVID-19, but we are seeing some businesses that are already looking ahead to the third and fourth quarter of possible expansions, some new hirings, things like that. So as we start this recovery process, I just want this group to know that I really think we're going to see some positive things come out of this whole initiative.
Good. Yeah, I think I really believe in American enterprise and the businesses' ability to innovate. I've seen some really cool things. We're going to restructure. We're going to redo how we conduct business. But I am never disappointed with American ingenuity, and I think we're going to see some of that really come to fold in second half of this year. All right. Jimmy, do you have anybody else that has raised their hand? If not, then go ahead and open it up.
Okay, does anyone else want to speak during public comment?
Going once, going twice. We are going to reopen Coffee with the Commissioners. So be on the lookout for that. If you just need some informal time with your county commissioner, I think Mike's up next. And so we'll get some information out on Coffee with the Commissioners soon, and that'll give you more informal opportunity to speak with commissioners. We want to continue to be accessible. Good. All right. Not seeing anything else. We'll go ahead and adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you everyone
Stay
for tuning
safe,
in.
Everybody.
God bless.